Ram Bhagwan has gone into the forest. He has been accompanied by one of his ministers whose name was Sumantra. Ram Bhagwan tells him that now it is time for you to go back home. You have to go to the king and the queen and you tell them that I am now safe in the forest. He has built up his own like hut in a part of the forest called as Chitrakut. So this Sumantra is very, very sad. He says that how can I go back like that to the king? And what will I tell him that, I have left Ram Bhagwan and come there. So Ramji says that that is what I am telling you to do. You please go and you convey this to the king that Ram Bhagwan is settled here. So he goes there and, when he goes back, initially what has happened is that they still have a hope that, maybe Ram Bhagwan will come back. So when Sumatra goes back and he shows, that I have come back, he goes and tells them that he has come back. Kaushalya and Raja Dashrath are very, very shocked. And then they realize that their son has gone away. And Raja Dashrath is really in a very bad state of a shock. He is so sad that he is just sitting with his hand on his head and he is not having much food, he is not saying anything, and he is just like, thinking about Ram Bhagwan. Then he calls Kaushalya and he says that you sit here next to me. I want to tell you something that happened many, many years ago. So he tells a story which has happened in his own life when Dashrath was a young boy, he was like the prince and he had gone hunting. And when he was hunting, he had a very magical power that only by hearing the sound without seeing, if he hits an arrow, he could kill that particular animal. So that day when he was hunting, he heard the sound of water. So he thought that there is a deer or, something which is drinking water. Let me shoot and I will be able to kill the deer. Now what happens at that point, it was not any animal, but it was a very small young boy whose name was Shravan. And this boy was the son of parents who did not have any eyes. They were blind parents. And Shravan had actually come there to get water for his blind parents. And when the arrow hit Shravan, obviously he is a human being, so he calls out, I am in trouble, help me. And Shravan was a very kind boy, very good boy. So he is very surprised that, why has somebody hit an arrow? Now, was this arrow hit on purpose? No, this was Raja Dashrath did not know. He thought that it was an animal. The moment he hears this sound that, oh, this is the human being, he runs to see it. And he is also shocked to see that it is a very young boy and the arrow has hit him such that he is not going to live. And this boy tells him that, what have you done? I have aged parents who are waiting for me, who cannot go anywhere, who cannot see anything, and they are totally dependent on me. So Raja Dashrath says that, he was not a Raja that time, he was a young prince. So he says that, please forgive me. I have made a mistake. I will do whatever you say. So Shravan tells him that now at least you go to my parents and you give them this water and you try and take care of them. Now, Dashrath at that point of time could have just escaped from there. He did not need to go to this Shravan's parents because anyways they were blind. They would not know. But does he do that? No, he is quite a honest king. And so he goes to where his Shravan's parents are sitting by their cottage, and they hear the sound of footsteps. So they start thinking that their son is back, and they start saying that, what made you take so much time? We are very thirsty. We were waiting for you. Please give us the water fast. And then Shravan is obviously not there. So Dashrath also takes some time to say something because he's also in a state of shock to see these elderly parents. So then he says that, I am Dashrath. I am very sorry. Your son is no more. I have killed him by mistake. Now his Shravan's father and mother are obviously very upset and they get very angry. But at the same time, they realize that Dashrath had not done this on purpose. So they tell him that, you, because you have not done it on purpose, we are not cursing you that you will die right now, but we are putting a curse on you that you will die remembering your son. So this is what had happened many, many years back. And then what happens in Shravan's story is that Shravan is, they build a fire. The last rites are done, and his mother and father also jump into the fire and they end their life. So Raja Dashrath is now telling his wife Kaushalya this story, and he is remembering his son, and he says that now the time has come for me to go. I have the curse that was given to me is now the time has come for it to get fulfilled. And he is lying on his bed. The queens are very, very sad, and Raja Dashrath is no more. Now, the people of Ayodhya were already very shocked because their beloved Prince Ram had gone away to the forest. He had taken Lakshman, and Sita had decided to accompany him. And just when those things were happening, they get the news that Ayodhya, their king, Raja Dashrath, is no more, that Raja Dashrath has died. So they are all in a really, really bad state of shock. Once they come to know this, they really don't know what to do. And it is said that, everywhere around there was like darkness. The crows were cawing, the donkeys used to bray, and everything was in like a very miserable state. Now at this point of time, where were Bharat and Shatrughna? They had gone off to their grandparents' house. And that time there were no mobile phones that they could immediately make a call and, tell them that come back. So there would have to be somebody who would have to go to bring them. So there is, a dispatch has been sent, to call them. Now when they come back, they are very shocked, especially Bharat. He says that, why is everything in such a gloomy state? Everybody is looking very sad. That my father is not there to welcome me. There is nobody around. There is something which is very wrong. And Bharat goes running into the palace, where again he is still surprised. I don't know, everybody is looking down, nobody has any smile on their face, and he feels that something is wrong. So he goes, and his mother is actually waiting for him because she feels that she has done something very, very great. Mother has worn like, beautiful clothes. She's all decked up in jewelry. And so Bharat tells that, what is happening? Where is my father? Where are my brothers? Why is there nobody around? So at that time, Kaikai tells him that, you know what? You are now going to be crowned the king. I have made all the arrangements. But one sad thing is that your father is no more. The moment Bharat hears that his father is no more, he is really very, very, very upset. And he starts shouting at his mother that, what do you mean that my father is no more? And how could you do this, such a mean thing? And who gave you this idea? I know he starts screaming and shouting, and he's like really, really upset over the whole thing. So Kaikai is very shocked. She had not expected this. She had thought that Bharat would be happy to be the king, but Bharat is not at all happy. And not only that, Shatrughna is said to be somebody who was quite, he was like a quiet person. But when he also hears this, that, this is what Kaikai has done, and it was Mantra who had influenced, it is said that Shatrughna actually starts hitting Mantra. And he is also extremely shocked. He says that this all gadbad has happened because of this one evil person who came and influenced my mother to do these wrong things. And that is something which we will not tolerate. And very, very unexpectedly, they go to Kaushalya Mata's room. Now, when they go there, Kaushalya first obviously thinks that, they have come and now they will ask me also to go away into the forest. But does Bharat say that? No, Bharat is very, very, nice to her. He bows down to her and he says that, I am very sorry, mother, because of my mother, you have had to face so much trouble. Your son has gone away, and our father is also no more. And they start talking. They start talking about Ram Bhagwan, Sita, and they have a full night. They are talking about all the good things that Ram Bhagwan has done. So Kaushalya Mata starts feeling little better. She says that maybe my one son has gone into the forest, but Bharat is here and he is not at all bad as I thought to be. So Bharat proves that he is quite just. And then after, he settles, there are all these last rites that had to be done for his father. So his Vashishta and, all the other gurus over there, all the other teachers, they do all the, required formalities. They make him the crown, they tell him that now you will be the king. So Bharat immediately says that no, I do not want to be the king when my own brother and his wife and Lakshman are in the forest. They are living the life of, hermits. They are staying in the jungle where they do not have proper food to eat. I cannot be the king at any cost. I will not agree to this. So everybody is again shocked. We say that, oh, Bharat is not ready to be the king. This is something very unexpected. So then what do? They decide, Bharat decides that I will go into the forest and I will bring Ram Bhagwan back. The moment he says this, everybody is super excited. Everybody starts thinking that, wow, maybe our Ram Bhagwan will come back and everything will be nice and good. We all will be back to happiness. Raja Dashrath is no more, but at least Ram Bhagwan, Lakshman, and Sita will be back in the forest. Will be back from the forest into the palace. So the next day, all the preparations are done. Bharat sets off with all of the people, like the chariots, and they take all the horses. In fact, Bharat feels that he will do the coronation, means he will make Ram Bhagwan the king right in the forest itself. So they carry all the material that is required to make Ram Bhagwan the king. And when people hear this, all the people say that we will also accompany you. So again, almost entire Ayodhya has started walking along with Bharat as he is going into the forest. So he is going, and the first thing, just the way Ram Bhagwan had met Guha, Bharat also meets Guha. And Guha actually sees Bharat coming from far. So first thought that Guha has in his mind is that Bharat has come to attack. So Guha is about to go like with his army, and he says that there is no way that I will let Bharat come even close to Ram Bhagwan. But the people who are elder than Guha say that wait, you first go and find out why he has come. So when Guha goes, he is very surprised. You know what he sees? Bharat is not wearing the clothes of a king. He has also worn clothes like Ram Bhagwan. He has also taken off all those princely clothes and he is just wearing those simple yellow clothes, just the way Ram Bhagwan had worn. So when Guha sees this, he feels that, oh, why is Bharat like this? He looks just like Ram Bhagwan. He has not come like, dressed like a king or like a prince with all his jewelry and everything. And then Bharat goes down and says that, I am hunting for Ram Bhagwan because I want to make him the king and take him back. When Guha hears this, like all the other people, he also has a smile on his face and he feels that, yay, this person is a good person. So he tells him that you stay here and next day in the morning, you go ahead, just the way Ram Bhagwan had stayed. But Bharat was in a very big hurry to meet Ram Bhagwan. So he says that, yes, but it is night, so we will have to stay. So he stays, and as soon as it is a little bit morning, they set off in the boat and they go on to the other side.